Welcome to another installment of Hunt to Eat's Community Kitchen. My name is Michael Cravens, and today we're doing mesquite smoked javelina ribs and a prickly pear margarita. Well, here we go. Javelina ribs, an underappreciated cut of meat from an underappreciated animal. I promise you though, by the time we're done with these, they are going to be absolutely delicious. So for starters, we're going to need a binder, and you can use yellow mustard, you can use olive oil. In this case, we're using Dijon mustard. The idea here is to give something for our dry rub to stick to. So lather these all up and we will move on to our dry rub coming up next. Alright, now that we got our ribs all coated up in our binder, we're going to move on to our dry rub. I make this dry rub myself here at home. The ingredients should be up there in the corner. I find it to be tastier and much cheaper to make than it is to buy. I like to do a pretty good job, coat these guys good, and then let them set for a while, let all those seasonings soak into the meat. Alright, our smoker has been prepared and our ribs are ready to go on. You can use any kind of smoker you want for this. You can use a pellet grill, you can use a gas grill. In this case I'm using a charcoal smoker and I'm using mesquite. It's my favorite. Not only does it provide a rich smoky flavor, it's also native to the same habitat that these javelina are from, so it's a nice fit. We're going to do these for about 2 hours at about 190 degrees. And while we're waiting on that, we'll go over and get to work on our margarita. First, our prickly pear syrup. About 1.5 cups of prickly pear juice, about 3/4 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, an ounce of lemon juice, and stir until everything is dissolved. Bring it to a simmer. I let this simmer, I think, for at least 30 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer, basically until it starts to reduce and get to a consistency you like. Once you're there, we'll take it off the stove and pour it in a jar. Let's take our prickly pear syrup, we'll put it in the fridge and let it chill for a while. And in the meantime, we'll go back and check on those ribs. They should be ready to come off. You can use any stock you like for this. I ended up using 2 different jars we had in the fridge from other projects. Cover them up, set your burner to low, and let them simmer for an hour or 2. Alright, while those ribs are on the stove simmering, we're going to move on to making our margarita. In my opinion, people tend to overdo and overthink margaritas. The simpler the better. In this case, we've only got 3 ingredients. We've got our lime juice, we've got our prickly pear syrup, and we've got our tequila. Of course, we also have some kosher salt for the rim of the glass. So here what I'm doing is simply wetting the rim of that glass and coating it in salt. Moving on, we're going to add some ice to our shaker. As well as some ice to our glass. Now we're going to use 2 ounces of whatever your favorite tequila is. In this case, it's an añejo. One ounce of our fresh squeezed lime juice. And 1 ounce of our prickly pear syrup. Fortunately, due to cooling in the fridge. We've had a vacuum effect and an awkward moment where I can't get the jar open. I will point out here that prickly pears and their pads are native species here in the Sonoran Desert and a common food item for the Javelina. Shake that up real good and then strain into your glass. And there you have it, a prickly pear margarita, the perfect accompanying cocktail to a Javelina dish. Our ribs have been on for about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, and they are looking great. So let's pull them out and see what we got. Alright, we've pulled them out. We're going to give them a little test for tenderness, and they are definitely tender. And get them on a plate. There you have it. Mesquite smoked Javelina ribs and a prickly pear margarita. A fitting and delicious representation of an amazing animal and the habitat in which it lives.